You can see and hear intro music.
Yeah, there's intro music.
You can see and hear intro music.
Yeah, there's intro music.
I don't
Hello.
have on this computer. Are you going to turn us on? Oh, they can hear us talking, but they can't
Yeah.
see this computer. Oh, now
We're
they
coming.
can. Okay. But there's still no video. Are you going to turn us on? They can hear us talking, but they can't see. Oh. Computer. Oh, now they can. Hey. Okay. But there's still no video. We're good. They're going to turn us on? They can hear us talking, but they can't see. Oh.
Bolon, I can hear your video.
Hey. Okay. Yeah, now it's muted. All right, what's up, folks?
Hey guys. Welcome to, as per usual, a very chaotic start to ChaosCast.
It's only right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Couldn't let you down. No one's fooled by my background. There's a real otter behind me.
We're all just disappointed.
Well, anyway, on to more serious business. We have a very special guest with us today. Somebody that needs no introduction, but we will give them one anyway. Sunbear.
Wow, thank you. That was wonderful. I keep looking at the otter on your desk. I'm a little distracted by it, but I'll try and deal. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, that's the business otter. He keeps me showing up and doing my work. He's very studious.
Nice.
So, Sunbear, we asked you here for a very specific reason. What do you think that reason is?
I think you want to hear about the new kingdom building program that is launching next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. That's actually exactly what I wanted to hear about.
Dun Sparrow said that was not an introduction, by the way.
Sunbear, why don't you give us a little introduction so that everybody can know everything about you? I need to know your social, where you live, what color eyes you have, or you can just tell us about what you do for the project and what your role is with the kingdom building program.
Don't forget blood.
You got it. Again, I'm Sunbear. I've been working with DFK for, well, I guess since about December. Came on full time in January, and actually started out doing a little bit of what Rissen's doing now with some of the event planning. Brought on to do some of that work, but also was brought on to help write a grant for Harmony, or for ourselves, requesting money from Harmony. And in December, we got that put together. We got $1 million grant approved from them and double matched it. So now we have basically $3 million that we're using to do basic or various impact initiatives. Some of the charity work we do, obviously this grant program, the Kingdom Building Program, we're calling it now, and other initiatives as well. So that's what I do. I'm the director of that program, and get to really help figure out how we're going to use those funds and try and do some real good in the world with some of the success that we've seen here with DFK. Who I am, let's see. I've worked at a couple different universities through the years. I've been a professor. I've been a trainer, director of a few centers. So I've built programs. I've done a lot of teaching and training, and it felt like a good fit to come in with this amazing team and do some of this work. So I'm also a dad. I love to fly fish, or actually really any kind of fish, mountain bike.
That kind of makes sense with the whole bear persona.
Well, yeah, the bear needs to be in the woods, right?
Yeah, and am I wrong in thinking that bears mostly eat fish? Like, that's the only way that I can picture a bear eating, trying to fish out.
Yeah, I do. I eat a lot of fish. That's true.
Well, we're super excited to be able to introduce you to everybody and let everyone know a little bit more about you. But really, more importantly, I want to know as much information as I possibly can about the relaunch of the Kingdom Building Program.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, we did, for any of you that were around in January, we did have a launch of our grant system back then. And then we did pull it back because we realized there's a lot we needed to do. We took a lot of feedback from our community, few lessons learned, a lot of lessons learned. Transparency from the beginning was going to be absolutely necessary. We had to figure out a lot of things around like access to the game and the NFTs and things like that within the game. And we also just wanted to have a process that was more standardized and just really clear from beginning to end, how that process would go forward. So we took a step back, really retooled, learned a lot from folks like Harmony and their grant program, and others, and built a system and that we're getting ready to launch here next week on the 5th. So a little bit about it. It's basically an opportunity for our community members who want to develop, who want to create something, to get some support to do that. And the grant is actually a financial, support system to get that jump start for you. But it can also be, a way to collaborate with DFK either on our blockchain or in our game, or maybe even just using some of the assets or tokens from the game to do the things that you want to build. Or it could be like an application outside of the game that looks at people's wallets to help them know how they're doing with their investments, or maybe they want to learn how to find the best, summoning match, or find a way to trade safely with other partners, things like that, just to improve the overall quality of the experience for folks in the community and in the game, and to give people a leg up to really jump into this Web3 world and the vision that Fox and Dreamer have for us as we move forward. So there's a general introduction for what it is, what it's about.
So compared to the previous way that we did it when we first launched, was there any like major changes on, let's say that you're somebody that wants to submit a grant or has an idea that wants to try and move forward? Did we change up like how exactly that process works?
Oh yeah, so the process is totally different. So now, at the front end, we are helping you as someone, creating a grant proposal, be successful as best we can from the beginning. And so, when you go in and look at our materials now, before you just jump on and like do an application or something like that, we're not doing that process. We're actually going to help you build a grant proposal that meets all of the needs. We built out a template that gives you step by step what you should describe, how you need to talk about your team, how it's going to interact with the game, what type of specific grant you're looking for, a template that really goes down in detail of all those pieces that really the community needs in order to determine if this is a grant they want to support through a vote. So you can go in on our website, get that template, and another document that's in there that you have access to is our rating form. So we actually went through, based on all these key points that need to be in place for a successful grant, and created a rating form where we can go through and give you specific feedback about each of these main points that we know will help you be successful. And then that's also transparent to the community, not only your submission, but our feedback for you. Then you can utilize that feedback, get feedback from the community along the way, because they're going to see it and be able to provide that feedback from the time you submit that initial grant proposal. And then you can revamp and then repost it new. And at that point, we'll reevaluate like where are you at with these different points with the feedback. The community can take a look, and then get you ready for a vote if you meet those standards that we've set for the grant proposals.
So compared to how it was before, where we would talk kind of behind the scenes with somebody and then ultimately submit it out, I think the first one we just kind of put out there and had the community talk to them. Now they'll be able to see from like the basic idea all the way through the process of any feedback we give or uh, help or assisting in them formulating that idea to a finished product before it goes to the community?
Yes. So as a community member, what you're going to see, you can go to our landing page, build at defykingdoms.com, and we've built our system there that's basically an open forum for you to be able to see every post grant submission that you want. They're broken down by categories. You can go in, you can read them, you can like them, you can dislike them, you can put comments in there, ask questions, and you engage in that process from the very beginning. You can choose to engage in that process from the very beginning. If you choose only to view them and read them, you don't even have to sign up in this new system. But if you want to go in and engage with it, it's a really easy sign in. You just use your Discord sign in or your Twitter sign in. And it's on a platform called Discourse. It's actually the same one that Harmony uses for their, or same platform that Harmony uses. So you'll be able to read it, engage with it, see our feedback along the way, see our rating form along the way, see their posts when they make changes based on all that feedback. And another thing we're going to do before a vote is created for that grant is have them make an infographic that we can post on Twitter, that we can post in Discord. So it's just a quick way to see, okay, what's this grant proposal really about? What are they trying to create? If you want to go back into the main site, the Discourse site, and check it out more in detail, you can. But you can have just like information at your fingertips, and then you can go choose to vote for it. And then when you vote, we'll put that vote up for 5 days, and they get a 2/3 in the affirmative. Then we go ahead and we move forward with funding that particular grant proposal. And then what you'll see, we'll still keep it live in Discourse. You'll see the various steps as they hit those milestones, as they hit those different steps along their timeline, what their progression looks like all the way through to the conclusion of the grant. And then that will actually be archived on our website and in Discourse, so you can go back and see like what they did, what happened, how it went, all that kind of stuff. So transparent from beginning to end.
That's awesome. I know you mentioned about Discourse and Harmony. Did Harmony using Discourse, like, did that affect of why we went with Discourse, or was there any particular reason why we decided to use that as the submission platform?
We looked at a lot of different platforms and played with them, talked to their teams, looked at what was possible, looked what would work well with our moderators, but also just like the different platforms, and it just seemed like the cleanest one to really simplify it, but also give us all the the permissions and everything that would be beneficial for this process. So when you go to the website, you'll see it's very simple. You've got specific categories that you can go in. Say you're interested in like in-game stuff with NFTs or okay, Bolon's holding his hands up. I don't know what that means.
Sorry, no, it's that. I'm switching computers because this one's just being a pain for me. And then they kept asking what I was hiding, so I was showing that I wasn't hiding anything.
Oh, gotcha. Showing what's up your sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, I am here, but my computer's being real dumb, so I'm switching to my PC real quick.
I know you
Nice.
guys don't want to hear just me asking the questions. You want to hear Bolon's beautiful voice, but
That is true.
he's on the struggle bus as per
I
usual.
am, but that's all right.
One of the reasons we did go with Discourse is because we didn't want it to be restricted to anyone. If it's only in Discord or if it's in some area that people don't feel comfortable logging into, we want it to be accessible. So anyone without logging into this system can go read everything, and then it's only if they choose to engage, with questions and comments or likes or whatever, that they would need to register to get into that system. So I liked that openness to it as well. That was one of the main reasons.
So there's no limitation at that point. We can kind of show what we're doing to the world and be as transparent as possible. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Discourse. Sorry, I'll participate here. I'm really excited for Discourse. Just from what I've seen, like it looks like a very user-friendly platform. Being able to read through it without an account is awesome. Having multiple options for that account is really handy as well. It looks like it's going to be a lot like simpler process for. Yes, the grant applicants, but also for the community to be able to see them and look at them and give opinions. So I'm really excited for that personally.
Yeah, and I'm excited to just have multiple, proposals open at once. So this is up to the teams when they feel ready to get that up there, and to have the community be able to engage with a lot of different things all at once. In fact, we'll probably even have multiple things go up to vote at once we really get this cooking. So, yeah, excited to see how it develops.
That's fantastic. So, all right. So the program's launching next week on the 5th, you said, correct?
Yep.
All right. So I'm the average Discord user, right? I'm on the game, I'm involved in community. What can I expect to see? And let's say I wanted to try and get involved or be a part of something. What can I expect to see once it's been launched?
So once we actually go live on Thursday, I imagine we'll have some folks that are ready to submit pretty quickly. It's kind of how it happened last time, but maybe it'll take some folks, a little bit longer to get ready and get set up to do that. It's a little more vulnerable, really, right? When you're going in, you're not just doing an application and getting a process started. You're doing a submission for a grant and needing to meet kind of all of those needs or articulate those different pieces in that template. So you're going to see some of those submissions start trickling in. You're going to be able to read them. You're going to see us rating them along the way. You'll see people engaging, asking questions. And then you'll see at the point where they're ready to actually go forward for a vote, you're going to see that infographic pop up on Discord and Twitter. So as a consumer, just absorb it, like see what's there, see what you're excited about, see how you feel about it, and then choose to vote. And then you can start to, you'll see the process happening along the way and engage with it however you want to. So that's part of what's cool about this community. Is like they're so excited about so many different things that we can innovate and create and support. I mean, I even got a message yesterday saying, "Hey, is there some way we can like create a fund where people in the community could put their own money toward a certain developing project or something, and then if it's successful, then they can keep it." And if it's not, we can get our money back or something. And, I just said, hey, we've got so much grant money. Like, let us try and support some of these things. That's so cool you want to do that. But people are excited and hungry for innovation and for partnership and seeing more come into the game and into the space that we can build together. So I think you're just going to see some cool, fun things happen and some unique ideas coming forward.
I don't know about you, Bolon, but I've already had DMs over the last couple months of people's crazy ideas. And some of them, I'm like, you're a lot more creative than me because I don't know how you came up with that idea. But if you can figure out a way to make it happen and make it work in the community, then I'm super excited to play that mini game or have that feature. And I just can't wait to see some of the things that come out of this program.
Some of the stuff that's been proposed is really cool, and I'm really excited to see them go through the process. Side note, I feel like I just like became 4K, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't like how. Can I go back to blurry? Anyway, but yeah, no, I am really excited. Like, there's some really, really, really talented people in our community, and they have some really good ideas, and it's going to be really neat to watch them come to fruition and see these additional things get built around DFK, which is that's a pretty unique experience. So I'm really, really excited for that. I am curious also though. So if somebody wants to like make a submission and then kind of what the process for them really looks like.
Well, my job, as I see it, is primarily to help people be successful. And so we've done that on the front end by providing a lot of structure for how to do this process. In some of the other projects I've worked with before now, that's really what was happening behind the scenes. It's like let's teach you how to actually, talk you through how to actually write a proposal. Let's help you articulate the things that the community needs to know. So how we're doing that, like I said, we've built it out so it's really clear what's expected to help you be successful in this program. But we've also left it really open for things like consultation. I posted one of the links on our website to just request a consultation. I just looked a few minutes ago. I've got like 6 or 7 already. folks I'm going to set up in the next few days to just talk through, what your idea is, where you're at with it, what might you need to develop before, putting your proposal together, or do you need some feedback on what you've got so far? One of the options also in Discourse is you can go ahead and put your submission in there, but leave it in a draft mode, and then you can contact, you can send it to the administrators and say, hey, which is myself and Piano Man, hey, I'd like some feedback on this before I go live with it. So there's just steps built in to help that process be successful. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to meet on a set schedule once a grant is approved with that team and just assess how they're doing. What do they need? Where are they at? What's going to help them be able to move things along in their timeline, or where are they getting stuck? And part of the grant proposal too asks you to articulate specifically what you're going to need from DFK's core team. If you need some dev support, or if you're needing help recruiting somebody else that might need to come onto your team to help you with some of the areas of expertise that maybe you don't have, whatever it might be, we want to help you be successful. Like, that's most of my job right there. Another thing I was going to mention too, I was talking to someone in the community just briefly in Discord yesterday, maybe it was today. The days are mixing together. But they recommended, like, what if we had a channel in Discourse where we could say, hey, I have this talent, or I have this ability, I'd love to be a part of a team, or I've got this idea that I'd like to develop. Is anybody else able to come in with some of the back end, front end, Solidity, whatever, and help me with this process? Kind of a way to get to know your community and build things together.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds like some of the things we've done at some of our events where we've had like the hackathons and things like that. Some of the coolest ideas that I've heard come out have been from people that just met that day. They are like, hey, I have this set of skills and I have this idea, but I need to find somebody else that has this set of skills.
Yep.
And that's where I'm really just excited to see basically teams that are built based off of ideas. And this is the very beginning, guys, of what gets talked about a lot of building on our ecosystem and building on our game. This is just the very beginning stages of it. We are setting up the ability for us to evolve the game and have you have real impact on what happens in the game. And I'm just so pumped about it. Sunbear, you are fantastic. I don't know if I tell you that enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I
Agreed.
appreciate that.
And I actually, funny enough, I was just talking to a community member about having a way for people with ideas to be able to connect and link up so that they can potentially work on those ideas together. So it was literally a topic. I think that was, what day is it? Friday. That was, I think, Wednesday that I was talking to somebody about exactly that. So I know people will be really excited for that.
So yeah, we need to create a collaboration chat in Discourse, and maybe we'll combine that with kind of brainstorming ideas, or maybe we'll make two. Maybe it'll be like brainstorming and collaboration to kind of get those chats going for folks. Well, let's talk through that and see how we want to launch that this week.
Most definitely. There's plenty of options, so we'll figure out what works and modify as needed.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're providing a lot of structure, but we're also saying, hey, we're flexible. We know this is a new process. We're learning how this works a little bit. We're learning what our community hopes for and expects. But I think we've got a lot better format now to help it be successful. So I'm feeling really pumped about it.
I got a question from chat for you real quick.
Yeah.
So once the consultation is put in, how do they keep track of staying in touch? Is it all going to be through Discourse? Is it in Discord? What's like the primary contact method there?
Yeah. So the consultation is optional. That's something you can do ahead of time. But once you actually have a grant submitted in there, you'll notice one of the requirements is to email the KYC email. It basically is telling us who you are, how to get a hold of you, who's on your team, and with that, we will reach out to you and we'll have a meeting with you. As soon as you've got something posted, we're getting that meeting scheduled, and as we build out your grant, in your timeline, we'll have set meetings set up, but you'll also have access to us. You're going to have access to us through our build email and through our personal emails, depending on who you're working with, myself or Piano Man or both. And yeah, so we'll be very accessible along the way. It's not going to be like we're hidden or anything like that. So I want to stay in close contact with everyone as they are getting their submissions up and running, and especially once they get approved, so we can help you be successful.
Awesome. So if they request a consultation, obviously I'll reach out.
Yeah.
But even if they don't, if they just submit their proposal, y'all still reach out. And same if they submit it in draft form, I would assume.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we
Awesome.
want to be working as hard as we can to make sure these are happening quickly. The community's ready for it. Everybody's ready for this stuff to happen. And so my goal is to get those ratings done very quickly, get those meetings set, and get that feedback happening. Now, if we have 50 come in next week, like all at once, obviously you're going to see that we're working through them to get those rating forms done and everything. But one thing that's going to happen is, and I wrote this into our protocol, if the community is really wanting something that's been posted to be focused on, like go and like it a bunch. Go and say, hey, we need to move this up, or this one's really important. It's like we're going to be watching that, and if there's 50 out there and there's one that's like blowing up, and people are like, we need this now. We're going to make sure and get that rating happening. And the other thing too is, tomorrow morning, Piano Man and Bolon and I are sitting down with a bunch of our knights that are going to be helping with moderating and discourse, and really teaching them about the new system and the new program, making sure they're ready to go. But we're, if we need to, we're going to pull them in too. They could be part of our rating system since they know the community, they know what's going on there. And if we do need more help, I'm committed to bringing more people in if this just keeps getting bigger, which I imagine it will.
Absolutely.
Once people start seeing what they're capable of and how open-ended all this is, and I mean, I can't even prepare myself mentally.
Prepare yourself, Rissen. It's happening. And we're finally to a place, it feels like, as a project where we have some more, foundation. We've got some more structure. We're ready to really help people build on top. Where it felt, a few months ago, we were still young enough and still kind of figuring things out a little bit that I think we're far enough along now that it's time to really start integrating with others.
I also appreciate the fact that the community doesn't realize this, but part of the reason that, we've even had this delay between when we originally launched and now is we've heard you talk nonstop and go through revision after revision, trying to make this basically as foolproof of a system as we possibly can. I know that like you said, you've reached out to other projects, you've referenced other systems that have worked, and just tried to culminate everything that other people wanted, as well as everything that you've seen be successful, and then put our own little stamp on it and combine all those ideas together. And sounds like it's going to work out beautifully.
Yeah, and it's been really fun working with the team, getting feedback there, community obviously too. But I've really enjoyed also working with the Knights, meeting in person a couple times in Barcelona. Just having like our meetings around like, let's talk grants, let's see what this program needs to look like. Help, let's get your feedback, or what did you see in the last one that we really need to shift? Here's what it looks like so far, and so I'm really excited for their involvement because they do seem to have a lot of passion around this. Bolon, how many signed up for our training in the morning?
I think my final count was like 19. Just a couple.
Just a few. Just a few that want to get
I'm
in
pretty
there.
sure 19 was my final count.
I mean,
Nice.
I can't imagine anybody else that you could reach out to that has a better idea of what the community likes and dislikes and how they want to see things happen than our Knights. Shout out to all the Knights, by the way.
Very much. Very, very much. Yeah, I know they're really excited to help, excited to see it expand. It's going to be great, without a doubt.
So, besides the building program, which of course is very exciting, do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about before we start moving on?
Yeah. Tomorrow is the last day, just as a reminder, everybody. Tomorrow's the last day for the in-game donations for UNICEF. So if you would like to go to the jeweler, click on people that have a little charity over their head, and you can donate various tokens there. We are matching all donations up to 250,000. Hoping to get we've already had a great turnout there. So have been talking with the UNICEF folks, and honestly, they're a little blown away by our community and what we're doing. And expressed to them a very firm, like, we want to know where this money is going, how it's being used, because we really want to make sure it's getting to the people who really need it. And talked about their general fund, and also talked about specifics of where our money will go. So they're really excited about that process. So if you choose to donate by the end of tomorrow night, it'll be too late. So do it now or do it soon. And then you'll see after. Now's the time, yeah. And then you'll see after tomorrow night, you'll see when you click on that charity, it says, "Hey, we are working on our next thing." And I got to tell you, I'm really excited about our next thing. We're going to take a little different approach.
What's the next thing?
Do I dare drop some alpha here? Is that okay?
I don't know if you're planning for it, but I'm going to push for it because that wasn't part of the prep.
I'll say a couple words: Gen Zeros and raffle. That's what I'll just leave you with. That just use your imagination as to what that could look like for our next charity event that we'll be launching here pretty quick. So the other thing too is I asked the community for what charities do you all want to focus on in Discord a little over a week ago, and so I'm putting all those together. I've got a list of about our top 20 that were most nominated, and we're going to be doing a vote to see what our next charity and multiple charities we're going to focus on over the rest of the year. So that's coming out soon. I'm really excited there. And then just one last thing too. I am going to be in Austin with some of these fine people, Bolon and Rissen, and am looking to schedule any in-person consultations that anybody wants to create. Piano Man will also be there for at least a couple days. So if you just want to meet, chat, explore ideas, whatever, I'm excited to do that with you.
I didn't even know I was going to Austin.
Are you not going?
No, I am. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was going to say.
No, I will
I know you're going to be there.
Yeah, no, I will 100% be in Austin.
Before we dive into the event, because of course I'm very excited about that. Very excited for the idea that we are opening the charities up to the community to kind of decide what they care about most. I know that was something that got brought up by a lot of different people. So thank you for considering, not only directing our charity and our efforts, but also giving back the opportunity for the community to kind of choose where that money's going. And we are very excited to have you in Austin. Just to clarify, I know I've mentioned it previously in one of the AMAs, didn't I? Bolon? Maybe.
I think so. Pretty sure.
Anyway.
Assuming I even know what you're talking about, I'm pretty confident you did.
Okay.
But I might be wrong about what you're talking about.
We are going to be in Permissionless in West Palm Beach. That is coming up next month. Then in June, we are going to be at both Decentral, Austin, and we're also going to be at Consensus, which are back-to-back events in Austin.
Yep.
Ton of merch. We're going to have a huge booth at Decentral. Have some branded merch just for that event. So if you guys are in Austin and you try and hunt us down, even if you catch us walking through the parking lot, you can shake us down for some merch that's only going to ever be available at that event.
It's a shame we don't have any to show, but we don't. But I wish we did.
I mean, they're being shipped to your house. You didn't open any of your packages yet?
They're not being shipped to my house, actually.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Yeah, but also they were just shipped.
Oh.
Yeah, there's still 4 weeks to go. Calm down. But I wish we had images, even if we just had pictures, but we don't, so that's okay.
Maybe we'll let the person whose house it got shipped to. We'll let them sneak a little peek and
There
maybe
we
do a
go.
teaser on Twitter with some of the new merch.
Maybe.
That'd be
We'll
cool.
see. Hey, Stronghold wants to know how far along you are at the London crypto event.
Stronghold, there's a little known secret of you're not allowed to ask me about an event past the event that we are already planning. And right now, I'm planning 3 events. So at least let 2 of them go by. So in between Decentral and Consensus, there's a nice little 12-hour window. That's when you're allowed to send me a DM and ask me about it.
I was gonna ask, those are back to back. There's not really a space between them.
We got
12 hours.
We got 12 hours.
I mean, I assume that 12 hours will be wrapping up Decentral and prepping for Consensus. So all nighter for sure.
Either that or we'll end up at some restaurant or something with a bunch of community members.
There's really no telling, There's just no
saying,
telling.
we're open to a lot of different ideas.
We
All
might
you gotta
just
do-
end up in Dallas. I
Yeah.
have no idea where Dallas is in relation to Austin, but we
Texas
might end up there.
apparently is really big. I've never been, so we'll
I
find
did
out.
know it was really big.
It's not
but-
close, Bolon. It's not close.
Okay. All right. Well, we still might
Is
end
that
up there.
like
There's really
saying-
no telling.
One of my favorite things at these events is to give out merch. I'm a sucker for it. I just love sharing the joy of merch. So come find me, and we'll make sure and hook you up.
I just get
give quality
excited.
merch.
As the person that decided how much of the merch we got, and when we're looking at it, we've had this discussion, guys. I know that you guys have seen. We don't cheap out. It's name brand, fantastic quality stuff. I know a lot of it's been sent out to some of the community members. People
No, it
have been
hasn't.
to
Don't
our
say that.
events. Oh, you haven't sent them?
Listen, the claim period hasn't even ended yet. Calm down, okay? And then I have to go get 51 boxes for 51 hats and mail them. It's a
Come on,
lot.
Bolon.
We have to publicly shame Bolon for dropping the ball on the giveaway that we announced in Spain.
Yeah, so Rissen and I will ride you on this.
But I
It was
will
after
accept
Spain.
my shame.
No, we announced it. Oh no, yeah, it was after Spain. It was at the
Crystal Vale launch party. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know when it was. I'm aware. Calm down, okay? Tomorrow makes 30 days. It took me 18 to even get the list ready and get it out. It's been a lot of work. I'm working on it.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, Bolon or Sunbear. I'm out of things to announce. Is there anything that from the community department that you wanted to add?
First off, I am never out of things to say. But more importantly, I was going to
You just got very bright. Did you change screen?
Oh, I did. Yeah, and it won't dark mode this one for some reason, so y'all are just going to have to watch me glow. But I was just going to run through this week's dev update real quick. If y'all aren't checking out our dev update every week, this is the second week that we have put it out, and it will be coming every week, and it's super nice because it just gives some insight on what was worked on this week, but a little bit beyond the patch of just what we were actually actively working on. And so it gives you some great insight into what's happening behind the scenes. So I definitely recommend checking out the dev update every week. If you saw the announcement in Discord for ChaosCast, it had all of the links to the various places that it was posted. However, here's a Medium link for if you're feeling lazy. So it's in the chat. But the TLDR, we released the Crystal Vale Zones. We actually wrapped up a process to reduce the build size of our code by 75%, making
That's
it
crazy.
25% of its original size, which is absolutely insane.
That sounds like it's going to be a little easier to build.
I'm not going to make that statement. No, I'm good. And then, so we're working on the functionality for the zones that we put out, as well as heroes and the Gen Zero reroll that's coming. We are going to have more information on that Gen Zero reroll prior to it happening, so you'll have more. I was actually just talking to Hubert about this. we'll either do something in Discord, or we'll do another like live thing like we did with Perilous Journey. But we will have more information out. You're going to know all the details. Beyond that, the API team has been incredibly busy as always. The art team has been working on pets. Super excited for pets. They're finishing that in the near future. That's all I'm gonna say. But they've been hard at work on getting all the pet designs out. It's a lot of artwork. And then the mechanic engineers have been working on especially the stone carver, and getting that ready to go with the different formulas to craft different items. And then lastly, the task force working on DFK Duel. So DFK Duel is definitely coming as well, and they're hard at work on that. So that was the main thing I wanted to talk about there. I will say, because it just got dropped in chat, the current situation with the Lock Jewel saga. I mean, the summary of the situation right now is it's resolved. So essentially, when it first came up, there were a lot of discussions on how to handle it, what we wanted to do, how we could fix it. A plan was formulated based on what was available at the time. That plan was extremely complex, and there was a lot of work going into it, and so it's been worked on ever since. But it was not a simple solution. Obviously, it gained some prominence again. I guess yesterday. Good lord, yesterday, and so we paused that work for the day and went kind of back to the drawing board and realized that with some of the features that have been added, not just to DFK but to Harmony in general, with Open Zeppelin in particular, that there was actually newer ways that we could potentially handle it. So it's still like we're still going to be adding some additional stuff on the background, but the first phase is done, and what that phase does is basically if you are mining and Lock Jewel gets transferred, then there is it cancels the quest. So essentially it prevents people from questing on that Lock Jewel multiple times at once. So it's kind of it's secured for now, and there will be more coming as well. So that's all I got for that. But definitely something that. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say today's another day when, even though the market's down, even though it's not the best price time right now, that I'm really proud to be a part of this team. So many of our teammates stayed up, late into the night working on this fix, getting really creative. It's part of the reason I joined this team. It's because of the creativity, because of the vision, for such big and new and innovative things. And like when you listen to Dreamer, when you listen to Fox, these guys aren't messing around. These guys have been thinking about and creating in their minds for months, if not years, what we're building right now. And to have a team that's behind it because they truly love it, they choose it, they're gamers, they're extremely creative. I mean, look at the art that's coming out. And I've never worked with such a team that works so well together. Like we communicate, we listen, even though we have so many different roles, we really try and stay connected. And I think we do a really good job of it. So anyway, I just wanted to express, my gratitude to be a part of this team, but also just to the community. Like, these are people who have incredible integrity, big vision, and are in this for the long haul. And I think you'll see time and time again that we work on learning from our mistakes. We try and keep improving our process, and we are dedicated to making an extremely high quality, high utility product that's going to be a lot of fun too. So anyway, I just wanted to get on my soapbox for a minute there and share my passion for why I joined this team.
Couldn't agree more, Sunbear. Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Every day.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Sunbear, for joining us. Thank you for all the work that you put in, and Piano Man, and all the nights that have been giving you feedback, and all the community members that waited patiently for this and were a part of the first process. And I'm very, very fortunate to have you as part of our team, and we look forward to seeing what comes out.
I do too. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we are going to call it a night so that we can possibly get some sleep at some point. So, Bolon.
Always a pleasure, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Y'all have
Take
a
care,
great
y'all.
night.
Bye.
Okay.
Fantastic.